Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Salt Shakers. Tonight we've got two guests returning from my previous podcast. They'll be joining us very shortly, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
This is a new guy, and he's not that good in terms of basic. But what can I say? He's spamming these unseeable moves, and he was beating us, right?
Yeah.
So I was quite pissed, but at the same time, I couldn't say I'm pissed because that would look very bad.
Can you tell me, in your honest opinion, in our community, who do you think are the heels? Or I should say, bad guys.
We're gonna make some enemies with this
No,
one.
you won't.
No,
it's all for fun.
Okay, yeah.
All for fun.
I think maybe Sivio?
Past interview, I'm standing there like, so, when was a time when you had to use your creativity to get yourself out of a mess with a customer? And in my head I was just like, oh man, I really need a shit.
G'day guys, Yeeks here. You're listening to Salt Shakers. Stay salty and stay Yeeks.
Welcome to the Super Salt Shaker Podcast. Chrono. Get ready for the next podcast.
Hello again, guys. Welcome to another episode of Salt Shakers. This is your host, Chrono, and who I have here with me, I've got the returning Cornova, E-Black.
Hi guys.
And I also have the Feng Muscles, Rambo.
Yo, what's up, guys?
How's everything going, guys?
Pretty good. Thank you for having us here again.
And you like your muscles?
Yeah, Kenshiro!
You were like a bit surprised when I showed you.
Well, of course, because you had the other dark shade. You know, my original figure there?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it turned into a
Well, that's what you do. You know, that's when
Superman.
you get that's when you get like angry and you start beating, Cornova, right?
I think that suits him better.
Yeah?
Much better.
Why?
Because that's your true inner self.
My true inner self. What do you mean by that?
You know, rip your clothes, bald head, muscles.
Oh, for my character. Well, they look manly,
No,
don't
but
they?
it's ponytail, not bald head.
No, he always, don't you know, all this customization at the end of the day.
Oh, it's always like a bald head.
Well, I
bald
was
head
back
character.
in Taken Tag 2. Nowadays, all of my characters
I
have
have bald
hair.
head.
No, they don't have bald hair. They
A lot
have
of your
hair.
characters have bald head.
No.
I don't know, he has some fetish for bald heads.
Well,
So what, you like those people like Vin Diesel and The Rock? and
Yeah.
all that? Okay.
Well, sure. That's
Yeah.
why I play Feng. I play Brian.
But you
I
said
play
that Feng was
yeah.
also quite handsome.
Well, yeah. Isn't he very handsome to
Yeah,
my standard?
this is a lie
you know?
because
Well, he is, according to my standard.
Quite a while ago, I always used to say, because this was a joke on Korean for us. I didn't
Yeah.
tell it was, but we always used to say Feng Wei, like the most handsome Chinese, and you're like, no.
No,
you were like, you would
no,
always
you know what?
like,
I totally agree.
You would always strongly disagree.
No, you know what? I actually totally agree nowadays. I think he is the most, handsome Chinese.
Don't worry, Rambo is the most handsome Chinese.
No, I don't think so. And the game world, of course. Who else? I can't think of anyone else.
Because you only play Tekken mostly.
Well, yeah, maybe Lei Fei in VR Fighter, the monk guy. Does he?
Oh,
look
is he
handsome?
bald head?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Your style.
Oh, I tell you what, Kun Lao is
Liu Kang.
Yeah.
Liu
yeah,
Kang.
I guess, yeah,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat, yeah.
Oh, Liu Kang.
Yeah.
Liu
we call it
Kang,
Liu
yeah.
Kang.
They're Chinese.
Kun
Yeah,
Lao.
whatever it is. But yeah, I just want to say welcome back to the country. I haven't seen you since you were on Twitch.
Right, so that was
And-
like, what, 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You've been sort of hiding away. I've been like asking you, I was like, hey Thomas, man, come do the podcast, and you're like, no, I don't want to do it.
Well, I didn't want to comment that week because I was really tired. I'm actually.
Is that because you only got the fourth place? You didn't even get the third place? Is that why you're so
the
ashamed,
roasting
so
begins.
embarrassed to even come and talk about? Because you have no glory.
I think fourth place is pretty glorious for New Zealand.
Fourth place, around like getting into semis was my initial goal anyway. So I'm fine with it, and like thinking over it, like after the tournament, I could have done better, I think, but I'm fine with it. I've done my best at the time, anyway.
There's a pattern. You always think you can do better after the tournament.
No. Like if I look over it, the matches against Dojin, if I was a little bit more careful, I could have come back from it, and
it was very
people
close.
who are watching realized that he might actually come back from this as well. So that's what people thought watching when I was on stage over there during the tournament. So like the players there were actually thinking that. So I think, and when I was playing, I thought, maybe I think I have this. Yeah. Well, when I started coming back. And then I think I rushed in too much because
you did. Like you didn't wait. You don't normally play your waiting game very well.
I couldn't play any of the waiting game when I was there. That doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
No, their offense is really, really good. So playing defensively doesn't really work against most
unless
players.
You're really good at playing defensive, right?
No, I don't think defensive works in that tournament standard though. It just doesn't work. I initially, when I went, I beat a lot of people defensively, but I also lost to especially the Israeli guy playing defensively because his play style was really aggressive. I think I heard you guys were screaming James every time he was doing.
What he was.
He was like James.
He was like a combined you and James.
Yeah,
but a sort of a sucker version of two of you combined.
Yeah, but he was kind of like James, but like a little bit more. Fundamentally playing, let's put it that way. Rather than gimmicks. He didn't have much gimmicks, but he was a more of an instinctive.
So he had the fundamentals.
He has the fundamentals. He has the reactions.
Right,
so that's
okay.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm like, I know I could have done better, but that means that was my limit at the time. You know
the reason why you weren't able to do better?
Why?
Because you didn't enchant yourself.
No, I'm not gonna.
There's no haka.
No.
You could have done something. You know, you could have. No, the haka is made to intimidate your opponents.
I don't think they would have intimidated.
They will.
Anyway, it sounds like an excuse. Well, it's
what it wasn't.
An OS, eh?
Yeah, no, it is an OS. It's an OS, but there is another reason that I did kind of underperform is because I actually changed my stick right before the tournament.
Oh, why would you do that?
So before, what I was using was just a regular what is it? The Pantera stick. Right. Bat top Pantera. And then when I went to Korea, I changed it to a help me stick. So that's from, underneath, inside the stick, it's rectangular for Pantera. A help me stick is a JF309, I think the model is. So inside there is no rectangular or octagonal or whatever.
So it's a Korean stick.
Yeah, basically it's a Korean stick. So
why did you do it in the very? I mean, let's.
Because the main reason is because I was gonna do it anyway.
Okay, hold on a sec there. So, what made you think that it was a good idea to go from what you're used to into a massive tournament and changing into something that you're totally unfamiliar with?
Because I tried to use it for a couple of hours and I thought I was fine.
Okay.
I thought I was fine because I played someone and I also played. Thanks to it was a friend staying in Korea. I went to his house because he said, "I'll give you one of the help me sticks I have." And when I used it, I was able to play well against a very high level player over there. Well, not a well known one, but rank wise high enough. Although we shouldn't really determine people by rank nowadays, but
come on, man, it's 2017. They can be whatever they want.
Yeah. So, but anyway, skill-wise, he was very good. So I would beat him, but then again, we were just playing. It was a casual match online, and he was playing a secondary, and I was just switching characters around.
Right. Okay.
But when I was playing him, I was confident that that works. Till I didn't realize that I would have issues with inputting quick movement and down forwards a lot, which I didn't realize this at the time because I didn't need to.
So no wonder Ning said that commented on you saying that you were a bit slow.
Yeah, he was saying my running 2 was too slow, and he was saying my slides were too slow. It's because normally I can actually do slides really quickly, but every time I tried to do a quick slide, it would end up coming out as a Force Crush 3 with Shaheen. So I actually stopped trying doing quick slides later onwards, and actually resorted back to just regular lows, or just gave up using slides in general, which
Yeah.
is really a huge deficit for Shaheen, because
Mm-hmm.
to play Shaheen well, you have to slide. You have to be really good with slide. I think you guys might have seen the WGL where AK beat Saint
Yes.
with Shaheen. That's because his slide timing and his mid mix-up was really good. So that to do that, your execution has to be pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize it's gonna be off till I actually played quite a lot there, and I noticed that there were so many execution errors I would normally not make.
Mm-hmm.
One of them.
So this is when you rewatched it.
No, when I played at the time,
Oh,
when I
okay.
went there, and one of the times I quickly realized was after a generic Dragunov combo for wall carry
Mhm.
after screw, you have to run into 4-3
Yeah.
to cancel to 4-1,
Mm-hmm.
and that's forward. Was it 4-4-4? So you hold 4 to make it easier,
Yeah.
and you do 4-4 forward, and then do 3,
Right.
and then it does that move, and then you
Yeah.
go up to cancel the 4-3, and then 4-1. Now the problem was what I had was this would never come out as 4-3, but I would always end up getting down 4-3.
Right.
So
Okay. So it becomes something totally different.
yeah, so I could just not get why this was doing this. The whole till I think till almost the last moment of this tournament, till like around top when it was right before semifinal. So when I was playing the Israeli guy,
Mm-hmm.
I only managed to notice that okay, this is how I'm gonna fix it at the time, and that till then I think you guys might have seen me keep doing down for 3 with Dragunov. It's because that was not my intention at all. If you guys played casual with me after I came back and I was doing down for 3, it's not my intention to do down for 3.
So you're still rocking that same stick.
Yeah, I like it. The stick is fine. I actually like it better than the old stick. It's just
Okay.
that I am not much used to that stick as
Mhm.
I hoped I would be fine. I thought I'd be fine.
Yeah. No, I understand. No, yeah, true. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that the crowd doesn't really want to just hear about sticks all day
yeah.
and everything. So
Yeah.
Rambo, how are you
Yeah.
doing?
Pretty good.
I'm, obviously this is all focused on Kornova coming back
Yeah.
from, Korea and everything like that.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to leave out the third place of LPL.
Thank you for mentioning that.
So, yeah,
The
how?
third place. Only the third
Yeah,
place.
only the fourth place.
What, third place is in New Zealand is better than fourth place in the world?
Well, it depends. Yeah. Well, sometimes I'd be the fourth place international.
Yeah, but then you guys always just end up throwing abuse at each other, going, "You're crazy," and all
Yeah,
those other
we
things.
do,
You know?
we do.
But
We do
that's,
all the
that's,
time.
that's the fun of it, though.
Yeah, that's the fun of
That's
it.
the
So
fun of it.
I'm actually quite surprised that your sons aren't actually, aren't listening in, because you'd be like, "Listen to your parents, come
No,
on."
What are you on about? You're talking about... No, I don't think they ever listen to your podcast on
Yeah,
when
that's
it's on
sad.
air. Yeah.
No, they're probably just.
No. Peter's actually sleeping right now. I think he
Oh,
he
okay.
started work recently, and
Yeah.
every time he comes back
So
from
you
work,
just,
he's
you two just put them down and then just headed over. Or is that what it is?
No, we
Did you guys get a babysitter?
we give him some milk.
Okay.
Put him to sleep. Yeah.
And I don't think
yeah.
Han's the type of guy who would listen to podcasts anyway.
Yeah, no, it's
And
not his type.
I think Sevio is...
It's not his style. Wait.
Sevio... I'm sure Sevio would
Serious
listen.
is he's too busy with
But
the
but
schoolwork and
yeah.
everything.
I think he only prefers to listen to his episode.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he'll just play it over and
Does he?
over and over again. Yeah.
It was typical Sevio if you think about it. In that
yeah.
words, yeah.
And having an orgasm.
Oh my
That's
God.
going too far.
over and over. Nah, I'm just kidding.
So, what was the first thing?
Yeah.
I mean, did you end up messaging Thomas when he was in Korea?
Well, I tried, but he didn't reply back. So
Okay.
he never got
Would
back
you-
to me. I don't think he.
No, I got the message, but
Oh, you did?
but that was when I had roaming on, so I switched roaming off later.
Why
see.
isn't LPL paying for your plan? They should be paying for your phone plan as well.
I didn't really ask to pay for it because I
Okay.
thought that was just because I bought a SIM card later
Okay.
to use in Korea.
Yeah, yeah.
But till then, when he was messaging me, that was before I was turning.
Yeah.
okay.
So I just basically
How
checking
how
on
long
him.
were you there for again?
11 days-ish, I
11
think, almost
days.
2 weeks. Yeah, but
Okay.
but the first 4 weeks was nothing to do with 4 days.
Yeah.
Sorry, 4 days was nothing to do is the ISF tournament. It was just my personal thing. So.
Oh, okay. So basically, as I was saying, you were trying to
Yeah.
message him,
I did.
and the loss to from KiraKira, that ate, to be honest, that ate us all inside.
Yeah,
And
true.
we were just
true.
like, what the hell, man? This was meant to be. You should have had the upper hand in that.
That's what I heard over there as well. Sorry. So everyone was coming to me afterwards, like, "Why'd you lose, man?"
Yeah, exactly.
And like,
I was very not pissed, but I was very shocked.
on the
and I
final
thought,
evening as well, they were asking me, like, KiraKira was there, and after he went, he was like, "Why'd you lose to KiraKira?" I'm like,
you know,
but I lost. So what?
they said he's
We were
not
basically
a very strong
telling-
player in Europe.
We were basically telling, everyone that, like, oh yeah, well, Cornova's got this. It's easy.
No, God,
Like, this is quite a big upset. I mean, and we were saying that Blackout just didn't do his job properly in training you how to
No,
play against
it's-
Eliza.
he's actually much better than what people would think. I think his fundamental lacks, but his Eliza skills actually match up for
Essentially,
that.
I don't want to sound sad, so if anyone in Europe is listening to this, or anywhere around the world, I mean, there's no offense to anyone, but the thing is that KiraKira is definitely getting carried by his character.
I think
I'm sorry, but...
I think he hears it often anyway, from what I heard anyway. But yeah, it fits him well. But he's done that much work, so it's not just the carry. It's not just a character, but he's done a lot of labbing for that too. So he's shown me a little bit of notes that he has for Dragunov and other characters. So he knows all these weird situations that normally you would logically think it's not possible, but he knows. Like, there were some situations where he got out of situations where, for me, it doesn't make any sense, but he knew that it would work. So
he was a very geeky player.
no, he studied the matchup a lot because he doesn't like Dragunov.
And he did.
So did you end up playing Dragunov against him?
Yeah, I played Dragunov. I played Shaheen, but
did he lab Shaheen?
I don't know about Shaheen, but I know he labbed Dragunov for sure.
Okay.
He had a huge note for Dragunov.
Like a huge list.
What he can do, when he can do EX dive kick off after getting hit or after getting blocked.
Really
he knew it in all the situations.
So when you played him against his Eliza with Dragunov, did you find that it was a lot difficult to win than with any other character?
No, it was more of the main reason I lost is against KiraKira is because I scared myself, because he would keep doing. I was in general. I feel that I was always in the lead of the match, but he would always somehow come back. Like, with one, was one smoke poke or one managed to land one. It's just that he's a little bit more patient at the end, not to lose, which is great. And I'm getting more impatient because I keep getting hit when I think I shouldn't get hit and things like that. So there was a lot of factors. It's not because it's because it's Eliza. It's just, I think it's more of a tournament setting and such. So if I had played him before, probably it would have been a different story, but he actually didn't play any casuals because, frankly speaking, there was only one setup was Eliza on it. On the whole tournament.
Right.
And that setup was like at the corner, and then that later onwards, on the final day, that got put on stage, so I never really had the time to play casuals with KiraKira.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta give him a little bit of credit as well. I mean, after all, he also beat Zhang Din.
Yeah, that was a big upset, I think, to everyone. But there's a behind story to that. Zhang Din was really pressured from something.
From what?
From a lot of things. Like, he was, the whole time he was quite pressuring himself, and he had a lot of thoughts in his mind. And he was wondering maybe I should swap characters in between when he was losing.
Right.
And then he thought, well, I should just I'm gonna stick to Lucky Chloe, and that was his main reason why he lost. It's not because KiraKira is better than John Ting. I don't think there's many people that you can say on par with John Ting's skill level in ISF and during the tournament. That's why everyone thought that it's gonna be a finals between John Ting and another player, most likely Book or Dojin, but no one expected KiraKira to actually beat John Ting, and KiraKira was really also happy that he managed to overcome John Ting in a real close match as well. So it's there was a lot of things. You guys know that he's sponsored, so probably he was talking about with the sponsor at the time as well.
Right. Okay.
And also, when Tekken was involved in a tournament like this, like WGC in the past and ISF, if there was Tekken, Korea always won Tekken. Like they always took first, so that was like guaranteed points for Korea. So he had also pressure for that he has to win.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, it seems to be the case. I mean, with any sort of competitive game that you ever see, it's always Korea that's up top.
Yeah, and I think in ISF recently, Korea won the overall points, the top as well. So continuously. So there was a lot of for him because he's the only Tekken player, and for League of Legends and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, they were in teams, so they know each other very well.
Right.
So for him by himself, it was quite a lot of pressure. Nin also said that he wasn't really playing like himself. It was against KiraKira.
So he was really all fake.
Yeah, he was quite
psychologically affected.
So he was definitely affected.
Yeah. So there's a lot of
mindset.
KiraKira played well. Junting wasn't playing it like himself. So a lot of things involved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess Junting has been involved in a lot of big tournaments, unlike Ni or unlike a JDCR. They're more experienced, and so they have they're very good at dealing with pressure. Whereas
because
Junting
technically, I wouldn't say that because technically, I personally think so, but in a lot of I think all of the Korean players would agree that the Korean tournaments qualifiers are probably much harder than the actual tournament than any other tournament. So that's I think a lot of people would agree on this.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
And he managed to go through it, and he beat Chanel in that qualifier as well. And Chanel is not a easy player to beat at all. He's probably best.
Yeah, but they're
if not one of the best in movement wise and just in general wise. So.
But there was no cameras, there was no lights, there was no sort of the pressure was different, right? You were just sort of like.
But their qualifier was quite bad apparently.
Yeah.
Just I heard it was pretty bad. The qualifiers were held at an internet cafe,
right?
And it was on like a 40-inch TV apparently. So.
Well, more relaxed in a way.
The TV like that you hate so much.
Especially every time when you're over at Peng's house and then it's always lagging and then you're like, no, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't think I had issues with input lag there, but...
Really? He had that 47-inch LG and that you guys were always playing on, but then I think that you guys stopped playing on that. You guys started playing on those
monitors, those monitors. Yes,
I think we always played on the monitors, and I think we had a setup on the TV once as well. Yeah. But I don't really remember. That's quite a long time ago. I don't think it really matters. Another thing that, just talking IESF wise, the monitors for the pools and that was used for top 32 was quite heavy, like input laggy wise.
Oh no!
So you could really feel that it's a lot. Everyone got used to it because we had so much time to play casuals to practice. They gave us so much time to practice. So I think a lot of people eventually got used to it, but initially it was quite noticeable. So when I played on the casual setups, I could never block a single Dragunov down back 3 on reaction. Because if I blocked, it wouldn't block. It was like playing online, kind of.
Yeah.
And then when I went on stage, I blocked all of them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well, that's good.
It's not because...
It's training.
No, it's not training. Wow. I can block that on reaction. It's just that if there's input like that, you actually have to press way earlier than you actually need to.
You have to anticipate it.
Yeah. Right? But if there's less input lag, you can just react to it. So it's a little bit of a different thing there.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting to know.
Yeah. But the stage monitor was perfectly fine because the model was different. Ones on pulls was quite like a brand that you've never seen before. And
is it a Korean brand?
I have no idea what it is. It's not the general tournament ones you would use, and the one on stage was an LG monitor. So I think it must have been a gaming monitor because it was really nice. But yeah, so there was a lot of things. So that was involved in the tournament that you would I didn't really talk about. I did tell John, who was there, that there was noticeable input lag, and he was saying we should tell them about it. I said that's fine,
so
because everyone
John was
is
there.
actually
John McRae, is it?
Yeah, the LPL
Yeah,
director. Yeah. Because everyone would have to plan the setup, and if I'm not, and no one else was complaining, so why should I? There's no point. 'Cause everyone's competing on the same same monitor, so.
So, but they didn't mention anything about the lag?
They mentioned it, but they didn't complain about it. They, like John Dean was saying, there was like.
Well,
some
surely
thing,
you know if you complain, then you know if they
Yeah,
do
mate.
change it, then
but
it's a good day for everyone.
There's like ISF was like okay. Let's forget about. I'll talk about the tournament stuff later, but just in general, I'll talk about all the negative stuff, so I can just take this out of the way. So I don't have to worry
Okay,
about,
go on. Shoot.
So the organization for ISF Tekken 7 tournament was really, really bad. I can tell you that. You guys may think that TWT done by LPO was bad. It was worse than that. I can
That
tell you
bad?
that. Yeah. When we went there, first of all, the Tekken 7 was version 1.0.
Okay.
Meaning it was not updated.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be updated.
So
to
it was the Xiao Yu, like
yes,
the
she
OP
had,
Xiao Yu.
She still had the sweep.
Oh, jeez.
She and that Nina Infinite was still in the game and
What?
everything.
Okay.
So they said during orientation that it would be the most recent version. I think it was 1.07 right now, 1.08, whatever it is.
Mhm.
But when we checked, when we were playing casuals initially to test the machines, it was 1.0. And there was no DLC whatsoever on the machines. So there was initially
no Eliza.
there was no Eliza in any of the machines initially.
What? So what happened to KiraKira? What is he gonna say?
That's why there was only Eliza on one machine, because they had to purchase Eliza just for KiraKira.
Wow. I don't know if you guys are hearing this, but what?
Yeah.
Are they crazy? They're gonna they have a world tournament on, and then they decide that they don't want to do this. They they can fork out for all this money to run this tournament, but then they cannot fork out like a couple of dollars just for Eliza.
League of Legends and CS:GO, I think they initially had a network problem, but in general the flow was fine. But it's just this thing just happened for Tekken, because I don't think they and there was that's right, casual setups didn't have any sound. There was no sound.
So just like LPL.
Yeah. But so as I said, it was worse because LPL at least there was input lag for I think for the full.
Slight input
But
lag. It wasn't
TWT there wasn't much input lag.
No.
There wasn't much noticeable input lag. But it was really noticeable for there. So they were till I think they were trying to figure out how to make output sound to like the very last day as well.
Okay, hold on a sec. So basically, obviously, you're saying that TWT and
ISF.
Yeah, obviously they're different brands in terms of things like that, but I'd think that the tournament that you went to would still have quite a large fund.
Yeah.
But then it's about getting it right for everyone.
The people over there are really nice.
I guess that
the people were nice, but that doesn't mean the setups are
maybe
nice.
this is maybe the fighting game, because Tekken 7 is so new, to eSports. And everything. Maybe it might be an experience.
I don't think it's about Tekken. It's just they don't understand fighting games. So about how it should be set up, how it needs, because some people rely on listening to sound of characters making noises. Like there's an infamous one, like Lee's Hitman's sweep.
Yeah.
People block it with the sound because he makes that weird noise before he uses it.
Well, that's cheating.
No, it's not.
No, that's how people block it, because the sweep is relatively quite quick.
Okay.
So they, instead of trying to react to it, they react to the sound. So that's one way of blocking.
I never cared about sound. So.
Yeah, I generally don't mind, but there are a lot of people
maybe
who
that's
do.
why I can never block big lows and throws.
No, it's just that particular one. That's just the famous one. But so there was no music, no character noises, and no nothing. So there was input lag, no sound, and then there's no DLC. It's the initial version, and then what else? And then the format was a little bit weird. How it went was how it was done round robin was a little bit weird.
So round robin, so it means basically how many people in a pool?
I think 6 on average.
So
5, 6.
a round robin basically would be everyone challenges everyone.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the most points advances
So
through.
4 people would advance out of that pool.
Right.
Yeah,
So
4
2
people.
drops.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the 2 countries couldn't make it. One was in
Italy.
No, Italy was there.
Oh.
One was Indonesia, and I
Mhm.
can't remember the other one. Well, I think Finland just came late on the next day because the Finnish guy was there eventually.
Okay.
No, Finland was in Pool B. One of the countries in Pool, the last pool, was not there. So Meat, maybe you guys know about him. He's known as to New Zealand guys as Johnson Reborn a lot.
Okay.
So he was the representative, but he couldn't make it
Yeah.
due to visa problems.
So Rambo wasn't there. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
No wonder
he did
never
qualify.
mentioned him.
He qualified, but he never came.
Oh,
He couldn't
okay,
come.
okay. Well,
I
that's
heard-
a shame because I really wanted to see him on the video.
I heard backstories about this, and it was quite interesting. I'm not gonna say it because it's just a little
It's
bit.
pretty bad.
It's silly, but I'm not gonna say it. But maybe you guys can find out yourselves.
I will find out after the stream. Nah.
Yeah,
it's-
but So how it was run was really weird, and then for our pool,
Mhm.
one of the guys had disappeared. Right.
Mhm.
He thought that the games were ran much quicker than the organizers expected. That's weird because Tekken games don't last like 20 minutes, 30 minutes like League of Legends or Counter-Strike. So they were expecting the games to be running as long as those games.
Mhm.
And then they realized this pools are finishing really quickly. So one guy was told to come back later in the afternoon.
Mhm.
Said your pool will resume at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So he went back to the hotel with his supervisor or his manager or whoever
Right.
he was with. And what had happened was pool started before he came back. So he missed out like 2 or 3
And
games.
they didn't call him?
No, of course not. So they were waiting, and then he didn't show up. So he was about to get disqualified, and he showed up. So in my pool, this happened, and then I was gonna be guaranteed. I was already guaranteed out of the pool anyway at the time, but they said he's gonna be disqualified. You don't have to play him. That's what they initially told me.
Mhm.
And then when he came, I had ended up playing him, and John didn't like that because that's unfair. He
Okay.
already was called disqualified, and then the word was changed, right?
Yeah.
So he said we should make a comment that you shouldn't play him and you should get the point as it is. And I
Mhm.
said, that's fine. I've already beat him like 16-0 or something. I don't think
Yeah,
I'll lose
you were
him
very
anyway.
confident.
Mhm.
So I played him, I beat him, so that was fine. That was
Yeah.
that was 2-0 right away.
But John wasn't like he didn't want you risking it, right?
Yeah. But
okay.
I was going out of the pool anyway, so it didn't
Mhm.
really matter if I lost or win because
Hmm.
I would make it to I'll make it outside pool anyway.
Yeah.
But the guy, the Indian dude, the Indian rep, he refused to play him, I think,
Huh. Okay.
Okay.
and that was accepted.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying the whole event was a bit disorganized?
Yeah, it was. A lot of the things
So-
were disorganized.
yeah. Because it wasn't, from my understanding, it wasn't entirely his fault. I mean, they should have.
Yeah, it's
probably
not
shouldn't-
really his fault because he was told.
No,
But
yeah.
as a
no.
player-wise, he shouldn't have gone away for so long, so far away.
He needs
Because
to
What I
be
guess,
he needs
I
to be
guess.
updated.
yeah, so
Yeah,
Like, you know,
but
he
because
needs to
exactly.
sort
because
of-
It needs to
everyone,
be
all the
updated.
players except him,
Yeah.
regardless of how long the
Mhm.
wait was still around the area. They didn't go far away unless they finished all the games. So
Yeah, yeah,
like John Ding
yeah.
was in Pool B after he finished his pool,
Yeah.
he just went.
Yeah.
So because he's finished.
Yeah.
No more games
Yeah.
for that day. He went. But for Pool D and like Pool E, where we had still games later,
Mhm.
we had to wait.
Right.
And the people for those pools knew that the games would continue sooner or later, so they will stay, right?
Mhm.
But he went because he was told. To be
Mhm.
fair, he was told to come back later.
Right.
So in that wise, it's kind of unfortunate for him, but
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
also his
yeah.
problem for not really coming back and
Mm.
checking what's up with anyone else. So, because
Do you think it could be just a lack of experience?
yeah, that too. Some players there were quite unusually. Like, you would imagine you can't imagine why would they be how the hell did they qualify? Kind of you get the
How did I get here?
now how the hell did they qualify to become a country rep? Some
Right.
people like that. So
Yeah.
but that's okay because maybe Tekken is not that popular over there and they're not very good at it. That's understandable. But it's like it was the standard that you expect is like here and like quite high, and then you see a lot of things, and then like expectations, result. It's not as what the biggest thing that you would hope for. It was great, by the way. I'm not saying my experience was bad or anything, but it could have been. It could have been. It was very good. It was good meeting other people, all that. But that's,
so shit first and then good stuff later. Okay,
yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, it could have been much better.
Yeah, for sure.
Much better if they had organized this a little bit in a better way. If they had tested it before the players came, and if they knew what they were doing, then I don't think people would have would be annoyed with anything or like that. So. If they do have Tekken again next year or any other fighting game, I hope something like this is definitely fixed. So if they are sponsored by monitors, it's better that they get a sponsor where monitors don't have input lag. Maybe they need to get like sound output somehow, like we're using speakers, external speakers, or get monitors sponsored where it actually has speakers, or gets headsets sponsored or whatever. Because I don't think for them getting a sponsor would be an issue, because ISF is originally from KESPA.
Right.
KESPA funds the money for all the money in general for ISF tournaments, and KESPA is made out of biggest companies in Korea.
Yeah.
Like the biggest ones.
Yeah.
All the biggest ones. So they have all the money. They have all the power to get the sponsors. But I think it's a little bit. Yeah, it was quite disorganized.
Could you say that you were disappointed by in any way?
Like the atmosphere there was too good, and the people, the people who were running it were too nice. So I think playing the game wasn't like, I wasn't so affected by it. I wasn't like that annoyed about it, because I've already experienced it before, and it wasn't that bad. So. I was already kind of used to it, so I was fine. But I think some people have been quite annoyed. What they expected and what it wasn't. So, but like what I'm saying is, like next year, if they do have Tekken, or if it's not Tekken, and because since Street Fighter is so much more popular in a way for watching in a lot of other countries, if it's Street Fighter or maybe Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat or Injustice 2, they had a huge league recently, right? Injustice 2, it was Injustice 2. Something like that. If it happens, it's probably better that they organize it a little bit better, so they don't have the same mistakes. And I'm sure if they ask around who've participated or people who experienced it, I'm sure they would be more than happy to give out, express how it was in the tournament. And
but overall, it's an enjoyable sort of experience for you.
As I said, this is just getting the bad stuff out of the way.
Of course.
First.
So basically,
it's just very minor things. To be honest, compared to all the good things that happened there, this is very, very just being picky on small things.
Just nitpicking. Yeah. Anyway, well, I mean, there's a lot of bad things that happen, but as Thomas already said, that there is some good things that happen in that tournament. We will be talking about that very shortly. We'll be going on our first break, guys, so don't go away. There's a few notifications that I wanted to give out to. That I want to say. The first one there is just an honourable mention there that after this podcast tonight, at 9 o'clock Australian time, I guess, one of the Aussie players will be having a podcast of his own, really. So it is it Abi?
I'm not sure who was actually on the pod. I think Ellie.
So that
Gabe has, I think he's posted on.
He's posted on it. So, I mean, it will be good. I mean, it's their pilot, episode, just like the one of myself and Blackout.
If I get the time, I'll probably listen to it as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm gonna listen to it for sure. So that's happening. Maybe about an hour after. After our podcast. So for all those that would be still up, I mean, it's a Friday, yay. If you guys aren't doing anything, just tune in. I will have the description there in the chat. So don't go away, guys. We'll be right back.
Yo, it's your boy Pizza on Kuruma.
Yo, it's Booze Bender.
Yo, what up? This is Reckless Steel.
Yo, this is Hyena. You're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
And you're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
Yo, this is Parasite NZ.
Hey, this is Penny Power.
This is Royston, and you're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
And you're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
Hey everyone, my name is Gabe, aka Jabu the Hutt, and you are listening to Salt Shakers Podcast.
Hey, this is BG.
This is Chogilo.
Hey, this is Take This.
Hey, what's up? This is Seville.
Yo, this is Dan Banter, and you're listening to
the Salt Shaker podcast.
And you're listening to the Salt Shaker podcast.
And we're back, guys. So for those that haven't, that's just tuned in, we've got Rambo and we've got Cornova here with me at the moment. So Thomas, Cornova, what did you think about that? All your Korean brothers, in that plug.
Sons.
All your sons.
Well, Uncle BG.
Uncle BG.
Yeah, that's right.
So we've got Rambo as the mum.
Yeah.
We've got Cornova as Abuji. And all his sons.
Enough with this Abuji already.
When are you guys? So there's like so many guys. Like, what about aren't you? When are you guys gonna have a daughter?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Comes as this, you can't force it. It doesn't happen that way.
So it only happens in an accident.
Yeah, well, it happens naturally.
Speaking of Dan Banter, we have finding out he's like half Korean was it still doesn't click to me sometimes that he's like,
well, that's your half caste son, so
that's Lars.
Yeah, that's
what the hell. Daughter is Mia. Mia is a guy. What are you on about? I still remember when we went to Rambo and Dan Bento was speaking Korean to me and I just couldn't stop laughing. I just keep telling him, stop mentally attacking me.
Well, he wasn't mentally attacking. He was trying to get into your head. Well, the same thing.
Well, that's mentally attacking.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Jeez,
maybe he was trying to get close to you and be friend with you, and he wants him to be your father. I mean, wants him. Yeah.
What the hell are you on? What the hell are you on about?
Well, there you go. He's your son, and and he's beating everyone in competitions as well.
Actually,
he's a rising star, just like Seville used to be.
Yeah, just like Seville.
Oh, so you're saying that Seville's fallen off?
Well, obviously.
We call him Seville 2.0, right?
Yeah.
Dan Banter Seville 2.0.
Yeah, he talks is just like Seville.
Yeah.
How he talks, and so he says that that's how he always talked, but then he says, he's learning like Lily from Seville. So, okay, Seville 2.0.
So you're saying that, with if those two were together, how sometimes, when you were... Or sometimes, when you watch your little cousins, when they play around and stuff like that, there's always like an older child leading the younger child.
Yeah.
So I think that's what Seville. That's what Seville is. He's leading the younger child.
Although
the younger child always. Yeah, the younger child always
look up to him.
Yeah, they look up to him, but then they also follow them around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Same behavior, same play style,
exactly.
Same thinking. Just even they talk alike.
Yeah, but I'm sure both of them would disagree if they were listening.
They just proved otherwise.
So
exactly the opposite.
Like when they strongly disagree, it means actually they are agreeing. So
yeah, that's right. Actually, it goes completely the opposite.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so you were talking before to us about all the bad things and things like that. Some of the good stuff, you did say that obviously everyone's so nice. I would probably be lying. I mean, you'd be probably lying if you said otherwise that, you had a bad time in Korea. You probably had a really good time.
Yeah, it was really good. So that's just the small things, but the organizers there and the people who were working there, they're really friendly. The only problem was that their English was a little bit not as good as I thought they would be.
Yeah.
So it was really funny how they're trying to explain, like, the flag walking, right?
Yeah.
They were trying to explain it in English, and one of the guys there, and he's like, this, and then, you walk here, and then he can't explain it. It's like, it was just meaning, like, what the first guy goes for, like, stands there, and then the next guy goes behind them, and, like,
one by one,
like that, and just go when they give a sign. That's all he had to say, and he couldn't explain.
So basically, essentially, he was trying to explain. Okay, everyone in a single file. If I give the signal, one of you walk.
Yeah.
And then if I give another signal, the other person walks.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And when we were doing the rehearsal, and he couldn't explain this, and I got sick of trying to understand what he was saying because I couldn't understand either.
Yeah. Why didn't he speak to you?
Why didn't you?
Korean?
Because the people didn't realize I'm Korean there because I'm from New Zealand.
Well, you obviously look like a Korean.
Yeah, but
Surely
they didn't
recognize
expect
you.
me. I was a Korean. So, speaking of which, the people who came, who were working.
That's why we need Chogular.
There were
the
people.
translator.
Yeah.
There were people like taking care of us. So
yeah.
Like waiting at the airport or the bus station and taking us to the hotel and stuff. And the lady who came to pick me up, she was trying to speak in English, like, are you Korean? And I said, speaking Korean. She's like,
oh god.
So she got really surprised just because you knew how to speak Korean.
Yeah. But people like, and she was the one who made the booklet, and I know she won't listen to this, so I can say this on this one.
Go on.
For me, the booklet was okay, but some of the stuff on it was really confusing, and it took me ages to figure out. And I think she asked me a couple of times, how's the booklet? Because she's the one who made it. And I said, it's okay.
Booklet.
But for politeness, you didn't want to point it out.
But for some people, it was very, very confusing. I'm sure.
So she made a booklet of instructions as to
like the players information booklet.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure. Gabe, if he listens to this later, he would agree on this. But but she's a really nice person. She was really friendly.
So they basically, everything is crap, but then like they made up with it. Yeah, they made up to it by friendliness. Is that what it is? So they used friendliness to compensate.
I'm not gonna say that. I wouldn't say that. I would definitely not say that. But the information booklet kind of, for me anyway, felt kind of like a little bit rushed. But then again, like, it was okay. It was like understandable. It's like I didn't even have a hard copy. I only had a soft copy, and I keep looking back to my email because I think Sheep had sent. Yeah, it was Sheep had sent me already a copy, and I was the only one who had a soft copy at the time.
Okay.
Anyway, before they gave out a hard copy, and I never picked up a hard copy afterwards.
Can you honestly say that maybe this trip back to Korea for this tournament? Did you kind of think that you were going back home, or were you did you think that I'm just visiting Korea? It's a foreign country to me.
I didn't really think of it as going home, although I did visit my family before I went down to Busan to participate for my personal reasons. But I didn't really think of it as a holiday or like as a kind of a casual visit that I would normally do. So when I went to Korea, I like practically there was only one friend that I already told before because he was following me.
Right.
And from LPL, and he already knew I qualified, so there was no reason to hide from him. My family knew, and those I didn't tell any of the people I know in Korea that I'm going.
Right.
And I didn't go see them either. So, funny enough, one of my friends actually found out through watching TV because this was actually aired on.
It was aired on Korean TV.
It was aired on Korean cable TV.
Oh, that's unreal.
And this is on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Their channel is on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I lent my friend a ID to a website before. This was for downloading stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that ID is NOVA, right?
Yeah.
And
right.
And then when my friends saw TV, they saw New Zealand and they saw Cornova.
Yeah.
So it's like my friends thought, oh, this must be like a friend of a friend or like me.
But
like,
then you started walking down with the flag.
And then
right. No.
Later left the TV on.
Yeah.
Left the TV on. And then later on was somebody on screen like, oh, that looks like Thomas, and then that is Thomas.
And holy shit, it's Thomas.
Yeah,
what is he doing here?
And I got told off for like, I practically live down the road. Why didn't you tell me?
Wow.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, that was my intention anyway. I wasn't really going for a holiday casually.
You were on a mission.
Yeah, let's put it that way.
Was world dominance?
No.
It's world dominance.
New Zealand.
Yeah, you gotta take New Zealand. Yeah, like lead New Zealand to take over the world.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Take it to the world stage.
Yeah.
Yes,
but you failed because you didn't do the haka.
I failed because I was fourth. That's why.
Yeah. Like I said, man, the haka is there as a warrior dance to intimidate your opponents. If you didn't do it, then obviously that's why you lost.
You know, next year.
That's why the All Blacks keep winning.
Nah.
Because of the haka.
You know, next year if Rambo goes, he can rip out his shirt and do the
Me?
haka.
I don't think so.
Like Kenshiro, he can rip up a shirt.
Yeah.
And then start doing the haka.
Okay. Before
if
we
you're
get
out of the way, yeah, sure.
Before we get into that, guys, there's a new segment that I want to introduce that I thought of this morning.
Yeah.
Basically, it's called the 4 S's.
4 S's.
The 4 S's. And so basically it's Salt Shakers,
yeah,
Savage segment. So basically, I just wanted to say, this is when you guys can talk shit, obviously. So let's just hear it. So I'm not going to... Okay, so you silent right now, Cornova. You be quiet. So what did you think of that guy that was talking shit about to Thomas?
Oh, that Lux 18.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well,
I mean, obviously he went 0-10. I mean, people did say that it's an unworthy topic to talk about.
Yeah.
I think it's bloody brilliant. The reason why it's brilliant is because there's always something that's going on. There's drama in the community.
Yeah.
And obviously, we've got someone that will diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
And that's Thomas by, kicking the living shit out of this guy.
Well, I think he was making fun of himself. He was being a clown, and Thomas just gave him the stage and a chance to be the clown.
Well, that's what he said. That's what he said. He goes, "Here you go. Have all the attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Have all the attention you want."
You just want the attention. I mean, a couple of years ago, we had this guy called King, and he was kept doing Snake Edge, and he thought, and then 10 string, and he thought he was doing great, and he thought he was going to beat Jamie and beat everyone else. And my understanding was that Jamie had a couple of games with him in Time Zone and completely destroyed King. And after that, King stopped talking. So I think
that's a past moment, obviously.
Yes.
I mean, that's one of the characters that we kind of encounter. Yeah. But I mean, after a while, I mean, this is all fun. Yeah. But then after a while, it sort of just dissolves and just disappears into air. And then sometimes we'll mention it, sometimes we'll have a laugh. Yeah. But most of the time, obviously we're not just going to stick around and just keep laughing and pointing at this person, at this guy. It's just her. Look at this. Look what happened to this, and then it disappears. Okay, cool. Let's get on with our lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not trying to constantly attack this person, or we don't hate him. I mean, we don't have a personal grudge against him. But it's just that history repeats. We always get trollers, online, and who wants to troll people, and that's just a way to teach them a lesson, I think.
What, just like how you troll Thomas all the time?
But in my case, it's very different. It's very different. He's my enemy.
No, but you guys love each other.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I troll him, but that's just a friendly thing.
Right.
Just friends, And I respect him as a Taken player and as a friend very much. He knows that. And he always diss me as well, He always says something or implies something like, I'm not a worthy opponent.
Right.
But is that really what you believe, Konova? RBG?
He can't talk. He can't talk.
Yeah. But, I know this for 100% that he, he holds his worst.
Konova's shaking his head. He's shaking his head.
Come on. Pay me some respect. Come on. Yeah.
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 So that's what I'm saying. It's just obviously there are trolls and things like
exactly,
that.
Yeah.
Some of them, some trolls I think are actually really good.
Yeah.
That they actually come up. I mean, as long as they can, sort of play Tekken and they can get a couple of games on us.
Yeah.
I have respect for that.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, obviously, if you want to come up and challenge someone, it's like, okay, cool. I'll take your challenge.
Yeah.
But if I beat you, okay, so what? I beat you.
Yeah.
That's it. But then, if they want to keep trolling, okay, that's up to them.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So, Thomas, you can talk now, obviously. So, what did you think about what Rambo said?
What did he say? I don't remember.
Oh, he wasn't even listening.
Oh, come on.
What did he say?
You're the best. I said you're the best. Don't worry. No one can touch you.
Yeah, just like yours, number 3. Number 3.
Stop saying this.
So basically, this ever since that these two came to my house, they were pretty much just saying that Rambo was number 3 because he came third in LPL. Obviously, Thomas was the second one that time, but obviously Rambo's giving Thomas shit now because he came 4th. And
yeah. I thought you could do better. Really, I thought you could beat the.
He's lying.
And, no, I'm not lying. I'm not honestly because you know me. I always wanted the Tekken community in the world know about New Zealand, and I always hold New Zealand in high regard in Tekken. And I think on average we are a small country, but in terms of Tekken we're doing pretty well. You have to realize that.
We need to. I think that, in all honesty, though, if I can push this podcast out into the local, because what I'm thinking of doing as in this podcast is really, obviously the world is a big place.
Yeah.
And for New Zealand to have, to be getting a podcast pushed out.
Yeah.
Into the international sort of region is a bit hard because. Obviously, even in Australia, they're not going to know who you are.
Yeah, that's true, but it's still important to do that.
Exactly.
And you're being a pioneer.
And the main sort of objective these days is sort of, just trying to reach out locally to the people that, so obviously we can form a big enough community, and then just end up growing as a community. So obviously someone's going to get better, they're going to and someone wants to beat them, and etc. So obviously it's just going to be like a sort of like a pyramid, like a climbing game, ladder.
You start
ladders.
from a small thing and then you gradually build up to something big.
But
so,
we're doing quite well, but we're not as obviously as refined as Aussie players or US players or anything like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Zazov mentioned the point. That's actually correct. So, because I performed well, doesn't necessarily mean that people who go overseas would perform the same. Because
except you didn't perform well. Not kidding.
Jeez. I thought Savage segment was over.
All right.
No. Generally speaking, there is only, I think, that who can actually challenge overseas players in New Zealand. There's only really a handful, and you can't really say New Zealand's doing well because I don't think actually that is correct, because there's only, if you look at tournaments, there's only a certain number of people who always place at high numbers. So for instance, like if I enter, I'll be at somewhere high. If like Dan Banter is doing well, like locally, Zazop's, if he enters, he does pretty well. BG always gets high place, Sevio, but this has been like around the same.
It's been like that for a long time.
Since like BR, it's around this. So I don't personally think that what you guys mentioned is necessarily true about that. And I do agree with Zazop's point. It's actually that more people should actually, if they get the chance, of course, to go see and play overseas and then feel what actually, all right, where are we actually at? Is it just because some people are good, New Zealand is good, or is it because we are generally all good and we would actually go do well in other tournaments?
That's why I say that there needs to be more people that need to enter these tournaments, and obviously there are a lot of players that are quite good, but the thing is that they don't really come to tournaments or anything like that. So it's just that's just how it is. And if we can get these people interested in tournaments and things like that, there'll be more competition.
Yeah, but there's always the problem where places like Australia have a bigger player pool. So of course there's always a issue where you can't always find the matchup that you want to practice against. But then again, you still get to play various different of play styles. So in New Zealand, there's only so much that you can come across, and that's why
you develop these bad habits, right?
Yeah, that too. But that's why I was so surprised with people like Solid Stone, who's from I've told this to so many people that he's a real strong player, because who would have thought there's a Tekken scene in Israel? To be honest,
why wouldn't there be?
If there wasn't, or if there was, how did he get so good? No one knows. Even Nin doesn't know if there was a Tekken scene in Israel, and he's that good. So, I think one or two people that level can come up, but it's not matter of. But then again, Israel can actually connect to Europe people and such, although it's probably like 1 or 2 bars. They get a more variety of players they can play against.
I actually, you know what? I tend to disagree because China is a huge country, and look at their players levels. I mean, it's
look at
worse
yourself.
than here. Yeah, well, I'm not.
No, I'm joking with that.
I mean, it's just.
Well, you're the best Feng in China.
That's a miss.
That's a miss.
I think the problem with China is that China never grew a real top level player that. Or if there was,
they play every day and they have a much bigger pool than we do
here.
Yeah,
but it's not because of the pool. They never actually had many top-notch players that you can actually think, oh wow, that guy's really good.
If just according to your theory, because we don't have enough pool and we don't have enough matchups, that's why we don't get to become the top.
No, it's not necessarily just the matchups though. It's more of I would say it's more of the experience. But for like.
In China, right? They actually before, I don't know about nowadays. Okay, before during BR and they often had Korean and Japanese player visiting China, and some of the people are quite even the Japanese people know about these players, but they just not up to that level.
Yeah,
and they practice every day, and they have a much bigger scene than we do here.
I don't think it's a matter of practice, though. To be honest,
but it has to be. I mean, but what I'm saying is that I know on a bigger scale, maybe New Zealand is not as strong as we would like us to be. But in terms of the population and the ratio, we still have a quite good amount of good players at the top that's competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, Australia have bigger pools than we do, but maybe in terms of the top levels, about 10 people, same as us. And we both are, competitive. So in terms of this population and ratio, rather than just looking at the raw figures, I think that's my understanding.
Yeah, well, if you want to put it that way, but Look,
so
well,
I can tell you this much. Okay, let me intervene.
Sure.
Back in DR days, this is Tekken 5.
Yeah.
I visited Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, there is a scene, in the arcades and everything. I don't know about now, but back when there was a scene in the arcades there, it was quite popular.
Yes, that's right.
And the thing is that they're, to be very honest, going there, they're not that great.
Exactly,
They are sort of getting better at a stage, but. I remembered one of the guys, asked me where I was from, and I said New Zealand.
Yeah.
And he was quite surprised. He was like, "Wow, actually, there was a guy here in that came from New Zealand, and he beat everyone in Hong Kong."
Okay.
And that was Toothy.
Oh, okay,
wow.
interesting. Back in DR.
So I would assume that he went to Hong Kong. Back in the 5.0 days. That's when Brian was really, really good, and he was playing Brian.
Okay.
So, and that's when he was beating everyone.
Yeah.
And not to mention earlier on this year, I went to Taiwan in Taipei. And there was a Tekken scene there. It was quite a small scene, even smaller than New Zealand.
Okay.
Or even smaller than Auckland.
Oh, yeah. Zaza destroyed Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, did
he?
Okay.
So, I mean, and I did pretty well. I mean, I basically went from 6 dan all the way to like warrior when I got there. So I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that when I was in Taiwan, there was a small group of people, and there was a Taiwan, Tekken group, which I went there, and then people were kindly enough to translate what I said from English to Chinese. To everyone else, and they all came, they all met me and stuff like that. I was very, very rusty at that one point. But the thing is that I still had they were saying that I had a lot of the fundamentals down.
Okay.
So, like basically learning what to do. I mean, there was a girl that played there.
Yeah.
They were saying that the girl did a lot of better or prettier combos, is what they said.
Yeah.
But, I would still beat her because, I'll know what to do. Even though that, even though that my conversions of the combos or the damage output is not as strong as what she would do, it's still, I can still beat her because, she doesn't have the fundamentals locked down.
I think,
and a lot of the players in those countries there, because they're so fixated on different games, like different competitive games that Tekken is kind of forgotten.
So see, that's what I was getting at. I think in New Zealand, New Zealand, our Tekken community has a lot of passion for Tekken. Okay,
that's why we're all salty.
Time. Yeah, exactly. So we have a lot of passion, and we spend a lot of time, energy, and we lab things, and we really just contribute ourselves into the game. Okay, compared to a lot of other countries, and that's why even though we're a small country, okay, we don't have enough player pools, blah blah blah. We don't have enough experience on the world stage, and we don't have enough different styles, but still. We have very good basics. We just lack the experience, and once we get these experience from international players, and I don't see why we cannot be a very strong country in Tekken. That's my belief.
But the experience thing is really hard to get, though.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But
like, there's another thing. I don't know how to say like New Zealand is strong, because there is no way you're gonna compare. How are you gonna compare New Zealand with Australians? Or
Oceania?
Like,
right.
If it's Australians, how many people actually went to Australia and managed to give a good result?
Zazo.
He was top 16, but he was never made into top 4. Or
BG was they came over here during BR, and BG beat everyone else.
No, that was just one person.
You have to realize that just in order to seek real competition, we have to pay a lot of money. That's the reason why I'm saying that we as a community need to get together. Even from different major cities, to compete in these events, these major events like Southern Cross Up and things like that.
I think that internally within the country, competing to increase overall level is also
that's why I started the podcast.
Yeah, that's very
just
important
to reach out to people.
But I think it's also very important that if you want to really get good, it's better to actually go somewhere and play. I think I eventually got much better because I've actually managed to play a lot of different people when I was in Korea for a long time. But because from watching videos and stuff, let's exclude like Korean top level, Japanese top level, because what a lot of people misunderstand is they think Europe doesn't have Tekken players, or Europe isn't very strong. Europe can't do this. That was so wrong when I went to ISF. Like, their understanding is very good. I'm sure my roommate, shout out to Alexandra, if he came to New Zealand, he would destroy practically most of the community. If he was ever to visit New Zealand and to play Tekken here. Okay. And you would not expect that before, if you watch a video, there's just a European guy, it doesn't look very good. But it's really hard to determine how good they are and what kind of level we are on to we actually go there and play them.
See, I'm not really talking about a concrete or a sort of a specific level, but what I'm talking about is on a sort of a bigger scale. What I'm saying is that I'm not trying to compare us to, say, a particular country, say Australia, or compare our country to the US or to Japan but what I'm saying is that as a small country, we're still quite competitive. You know what I mean?
And some people have managed.
We still need to. I understand. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but the thing is that in order for us to get better, we need to go out there and seek competition. Like Evo, I definitely want to see the likes of Thomas, BG, Zazob, Dan Banter. I want to see them, go to Evo. I want to see them how they do in pools. I'm hoping that they get out of pools and stuff like that.
But we came top players in New Zealand. Forget about myself, but other people who's keeping in top notch. But if you look at them, most of them actually have experience with overseas players. So where they you. Especially you went to China and you visited China.
I play some Japanese players
and you play Chinese people. So you actually like you have to be excluded because you already have overseas experience.
A little bit.
No, that's something.
Hey,
big.
come on, man! I had overseas experience and I still suck.
But you didn't play every day.
Like you didn't play passionately like how he did or how I did. I would almost go to back
every day.
then when I was in Korea, I would go to Green Arcade.
I just enjoy playing the game.
Yeah, but for me, I wanted to win and I wanted to get better and I wanted to beat the the top level players. Although if I end up playing them, but that's what I'm saying. So like Europe guys, they have more chances than us, and that's why they are improving much quicker than us. I think.
There's probably more players. It's probably more saturated in that area of people that play, right?
So they know each other already as well. Whereas they don't know me, but they were surprised because I'm so good and I'm from nowhere. That's another story. But,
so that's sort of the same as that Israeli guy that you were talking about.
Sorry.
That's why.
So I'm surprised because. For me, I know I have confidence that I can perform well if I went there, right? But the Israeli guy was such a shock because I could not beat him in Dragon of Mirrors at all. Like if I play other characters, I'll beat him, and then I would like top up the score eventually. But if I was just playing Dragon of Mirrors, it was like double the score. I would just never be able to beat him in a mirror. Dragon of Mirrors.
So he just sort of knows Dragunov in and out.
Yeah, that too. And then I was so surprised because I thought that if I lose in a Dragon of Mirror, it would be someone like really, really good. Like probably someone who's higher level than me or around my level or something similar. Like, slightly better than me, like Dojin or Boku or John. I could beat John Ding in Dragon of Mirrors, but I couldn't beat Solid Stone. So there you go. It was never a fundamental issue. So like there's a lot of surprises and excluding the people who have foreign experience, they can only improve based on people by playing people who are good right now, and that wise the gap is pretty big. So it's quite interesting how Dan Banter is, like, speaking of which, it's quite interesting how Dan Banter has chased up so quickly.
Didn't you tell me that Nin said that if someone could do very well in a competition situation, he's probably quite good. And Dan Benter,
he does well and
proved himself as a very strong competitor.
How did he only got so good with just playing online?
That's
though.
the thing, though. Well, that's the thing with Dan is
he might be a genius.
He's a young kid.
Yeah.
He's a young kid.
So like
he's
a
got
sponge,
nothing,
isn't it?
Yeah, he's got nothing much to do during the day.
That doesn't sound very good.
But the good thing is that he breathes. He breathes Tekken.
Yeah. Except he's eating, sleeping.
Like, let's include, like, just if we talk about Sevio, he's played in Korea and he's faced the best people. He talked to the best people, so. Like,
and he's pretty good.
He got good because he has that experience playing other people from overseas. So,
I agree.
So if you see, like, it's generally Koreans, but we're talking about here, but unfortunately because a lot of all the Koreans are generally considered top level in New Zealand.
Yeah.
But like you as well, like I think Richard NZFGC also has he went to China to play with.
He did.
So did Chicago.
Chicago
as well.
Yeah. So if you see, everyone who is really good is either that actually been to played in foreign tournaments or went overseas to play, not necessarily in competition. So,
but then now you're talking about this kid who's basically plays online.
Yeah, so Dan Banter has only played online. And
here's the thing, though. I mean, I talk to Dan Banter quite a lot.
Yeah.
And things like that. He studies every aspect of the game. That's just how he gets good. He also watches a lot of videos.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'll do is he will keep asking me. He'll be like, "Oh, do you know this player from overseas?
Yeah.
From Europe?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, well, he's got a really good Oscar,
Yeah.
or this person's got a really good. And I'm like,
That's-
I don't
that must
know
be
these
Fergus.
people. I don't know these people.
That's how
Dan.
that's pretty much like how I used to be. I always tell you some random things that nobody knows. So, for example, Kodachi. Who the fuck knows Kodachi, right? Yeah, nobody knows. It's a Japanese green. I mean, back then in DR, green rank player, and I thought, but I think to improve in Taken, to improve fast.
Yeah.
My only experience is by playing against someone who is slightly better than you. Don't pick up someone who's way better than you, because it doesn't work. You can't understand how he plays. You just because he's in a different level, so you won't be able to understand his play style, his concepts, mindset. Just play against someone who's slightly better than you, and then you'll start from copying his style. Then try to understand why he did certain moves or setups or mind games in a particular situation.
Yeah.
That's how you get better and better. Scaffolding.
Essentially, I mean, that's a good example, because for me is the person that I always try to target.
Yeah.
Or to try and set the. But like he set the bar for me, and I have to try and match it.
Yeah.
And that's my sparring partner. My sparring partner is actually Feng Chikage.
Oh, okay.
Every single day, because he lives so close.
Yeah.
It's always just like, hey, you want to play some Tekken?
Yeah.
And I'll beat him with Jack.
Yeah.
From time to time.
Yeah.
But then never with Xiao Yu.
Yeah.
Because he plays Xiao Yu.
Yeah.
He's a Xiao Yu player as well.
And it's very gay.
Yeah. Yeah. So he sets the bar for me, and every time he'll go through these moves with me, and he'll be like, "Did you know why you lost to me?"
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm like, "Yeah, I think I did this," and he's like, "Yeah, that's right." Or the times when he goes, "Do you know why do you know why you lost?" And I'm like, "No." And then he's like, "Then this is why you lost.
Yeah.
You need to punish with this." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah. So I tend to try and keep up with him, and because the thing is that now he doesn't really play that much.
Yeah.
He's so busy.
Yeah.
So I can't really. I don't have a bar, unless I find someone else. But the thing is that their play style is really different.
And mentor, man.
Yeah, and then also
that's actually a good idea.
I play a lot of games with Jamie as well. But the thing is that the way he teaches is different to other people's methods. So it's different again. So there's a lot of things that you need to learn. A lot of people teach things differently.
Yeah.
So
not so much about the teaching, but I think in Taken. You'll be lucky if you get a teacher, get a mentor who's willing to teach, But otherwise, I think practice yourself, trying to understand the situation yourself. Self-learning is very important in Taken.
The importance from experience, why it's so important, is because if you only play with certain number of people, and something works, they'll get stuck to you, and this is really, really hard to change. So. More people, more different people you play, more adjustments, quick adjustments you can make. Like when I went to ISF, the biggest issue I had was most of the time was that I can't keep to my style that I was so. It works everywhere else. It works against high-level Koreans. It worked in New Zealand. It works against most people, but just wouldn't work against European people, or against the Israeli guy, or against Dojin or Book. It just wouldn't work. So I had to adjust really quickly. So normally I don't mind spending the whole time every round, but when I went there, I had to change. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to win against a lot of different types of players.
Would it be you sort of trying to, change your timing?
That too, but it gives
your rhythm.
But playing a lot of different type of people gives you, it helps you to. Because you get used to, okay, I played this kind of similar stuff before, so I can adjust in this way. All right, he parries, so this comes out more quicker rather than, oh my god, this guy's backdashing all day. What should I do?
Yeah. I totally agree, because you know how a couple of weeks ago I had real issue against Chogler because of his style. It was something new. He's in a sort of a quick improving stage, so he tried different things out.
He's still a little bit green though.
Little bit green. What is green?
What I mean by green is that he's still quite new to this. No, he's quite new to the scene.
Okay. Yeah.
And he probably, he doesn't study the game as much as the likes of Dan Banter or anything like that.
I think he
plays a lot. He plays a lot.
But they study differently. Okay, Dan Benter lab everything. Maybe he goes on find videos, or he reads frames, or that kind of setups and stuff. But I think Chogler also learns, and he has a lot of potential. I always believe in that. And But he would. But I think
he lacks a little bit. Compared to Seville and Han.
Yeah. Well, why? Because one thing is that his mindset. He often blames, for example, the game or the condition. Or I think otherwise he could be a very good player. I a couple of weeks ago, I had a lot of trouble against him because of the new style he developed. It took me about 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, to figure out how to adjust myself to that style.
And this is over PS4, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's online. Okay, so I mean, relating back to what Thomas was saying, yes, the more people you play, the more different style you play against, the quicker you adjust. Because I never played someone who played like Chogular, so it took me about 3 weeks to figure out what he was actually doing, why he was hitting me with this hop kick or hitting me with this random punch or blah blah blah. Then later on I figure out, okay, I'll just go up to him, I wait a little bit more, and he would do something randomly, then I would just punish or make him whiff. So yeah, just I'm just
like that was probably the best part, other than making good friends over there, meeting different people, having a good experience, is that other than the great experience, is that gaining the game experience, playing people that probably I'm not sure if I will ever get the chance to play again in a casual setting for so many games, like against the European guys, European friends. Because their playstyle is so different from what would you expect from a regular Nina player, Master Raven player. Well, Adam Zero plays very fundamentally, so let's take him out. But I have respect for him. He's a very strong player. But in general, all the other players, their playstyle, they do crazy things.
Makes no sense to
so
me.
They do online stuff.
Yeah, technically, I could classify this as an online thing. But it works. You eat it at least once.
Just like the Chinese player who does a Nina 3 kicks.
Yeah, only you would eat that.
Which I'd never be able to block.
Yeah, Shamia, I do agree that some people learn by like losing a lot. My friend who's playing only Jin right now, he's gotten so much better. But he loses way more than he wins still. But he's so much better now. It's just how people learn. It's in a way that just playing more or labbing more. Some people can't really improve just by labbing. Like Peter is one good example. Like he does. Well, you guys probably don't understand, but he does know a lot about the game, like frame wise, about the character.
I agree, yeah.
But his applying on how that can be used is terrible. So for him, he needs to play more rather than labbing. So I guess it's different from people by people. For me, I think it's more of my mood, really. I think because I sometimes don't really like playing that much, and I only really lab if I can't overcome something. So that's really different from people to people. But the best thing is to get the experience.
Yeah. No, that's I mean, everyone's different in a way. And I guess that we as a community need to get better by finding out these different play styles and just trying to overcome them, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to go on to our second break now. So again, I'd like to mention that after this podcast, there'll be another podcast that's going to be happening, which is to a friend of ours across the ditch over to Australia. So basically, if you guys want to tune into that, this is his pilot episode, so everything will be quite new and things like that, but I'm pretty sure it's going to turn out to be a great product and everything, probably just as good or even better than the Salt Shakers. Who knows? We can only just tell. So basically I just wanted to I think that there was something wrong there. No, I just also wanted to mention that there is going to be we did go for a tournament yesterday, Handmade Burgers in Kingsland. special mentions goes out to those guys there, who've been running a tournament yesterday in the for Tekken. Winner got $100, so congratulations to Kill for taking that out. It was great, and these guys are going to be they're going to be running more of these tournaments in the future there. So for all you guys there that want a good burger and wants to play Tekken, definitely head down to these guys there. Handmade burgers on that's on Kingsland there, so that will be in New North Road. It's actually down the road from Jamie's house, so I'm pretty sure he'll be eating a lot of burgers there, because those burgers are pretty awesome. So what we're going to do there, guys, is we're going to go on our last break there, so don't go away. We'll be back after this.
This is a new guy, and he's not that good in terms of basic. But what can I say? He's spamming these unseeable moves, and he was beating us, right?
Yeah.
So I was quite pissed, but at the same time, I couldn't say I'm pissed because that would look very bad.
Can you tell me, in your honest opinion, in our community, who do you think are the heels? Or I should say, bad guys.
I'm gonna make some enemies with this
No,
one.
you won't.
No.
It's all for fun.
Okay,
All for fun.
I think maybe Sivio?
Past his interview, I'm standing there like, so, when was a time when you had to use your creativity to get yourself out of a mess with a customer? And in my head, I'm just like, oh man, I really need a shit.
G'day guys, Yigs here. You're listening to Salt Shakers. Stay salty and stay Yigs.
What's up? This is Mia.
Yo, this is Tinkos.
This is Drax.
Hi, this is Milky.
Kia, this is Corn Willis, and you're listening to...
And you're listening
to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
And you're listening to Chrono on the Salt Shaker Podcast.
You make me sigh. Just take my hand, don't toss and turn. Let's just lie awake. In just a moment's time, you wonder why you ever thought you'd ever look for more than you got. 'Cause baby, you've got you and me. I wanna hold you tight through the night. The bedbugs better hope that I don't bite. Why you can't achieve in your head? It's time to hit the sack, kapow, attacks, make those troubles down, KO that down. 1, 2, 3 a.m. Or is it midnight still? The windowsills are a million miles away, but your lucky star, he's here for sure. Down beneath the sheets, the world is yours to conquer, won't be long then. I'm the king and you're the pawn. We're a perfect pair. Girl, you made the right mistake. Choose me instead of constant heartbreak. Now let's raise the stakes. Go on, you earned it. Ask for any wish, I'm on it. Granted, word for word, I promise
Hey, this is the D-Sam.
This is Pinolicious.
Hey, this is Neil.
Hey, this is Rambo.
Yo, it's your boy Cupsy, and you're listening to the...
And you're listening to...
You're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
Then you're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
Who is not on this one?
And we're back, guys. Thank you for those that just tuned in there. So basically, like I said to you before there, we've got the Beast underscore 151. Welcome to the welcome to the podcast there. He will be the guy that will be running the podcast at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So definitely tune into his podcast there. It'll be definitely a good one. So let's just start. Enough about Tekken and Korea and things like that.
Yeah.
The last episode was with Chris Ting, the other guy, Tinkos, and Zazob. So what they've done is they have formed an alliance, or sort of like this unofficial sort of group called the Salt Factory.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Salt Factory.
Yeah. So I know you're part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously with you two there, with the whole Abuji talking, I mean Abuji's now viral in New Zealand in the FGC.
Sure. So popular. So well known.
Why you speak like this?
Well, it is. I'm just saying the truth.
I think I was already known to enough people, so I don't think well known is the right term there.
Yeah.
It is, right.
Well, so basically, since you guys always, every Friday night or something like that, you guys always go to Chikage's house, and I'll tag along as well. So, you guys had like a name already. So there was an alliance. There was two alliances. At that, at those sessions there. Yeah. So there's the Kimchis, which is Abuji, BG.
Well, all the Koreans.
Yeah. So all the Koreans.
Well, it is. I mean, I love kimchi.
And then you have the dumplings.
Oh yeah.
Which is you and Chikage, and sometimes me.
Yeah, sometimes you.
And
you're half.
I'm half. And who else was there? Richard will sometimes go. Does he?
No, never.
I think he's been once.
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember seeing him.
No, he was
Jerry. Okay, Jerry Lee as well.
He visited
Jerry Lee goes.
Parnell once, twice.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
and it was Heihachi Hale a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah. So you've got Coal-Fi Jerry.
Yeah.
Right. Who'd also go.
Taiwanese dumpling.
Taiwan dumplings. Yep.
Taiwan dumpling.
Taiwan dumpling. So obviously, should we call yourselves, this little group at Chikage's house? Should we call them the Kimchi and Dumplings?
Yeah, I think it's called kimchi dumplings.
Yeah,
kimchi dumplings. But the thing is is kimchi dumplings actually good?
Yeah, it is.
You mean that?
It is.
Yeah, it is. Really? You've never tried one?
No, I've never tried a kimchi dumpling.
You should try it when you get the chance. It's really, really good.
Oh, really?
You can get it for really cheap in Korea as well.
Well, I'm not going to go to Korea anytime now, am I?
I don't think... they do have frozen kimchi dumplings in New Zealand too, if that's what you want. But it's really good. You should try.
Oh, and apparently, according to Zazob there, you owe him a chicken
dinner.
Yeah.
We need to go. Salt Factory chicken dinner. Asak.
I can come as well. So
you're not Salt Factory.
Yeah. Let's just see. Nah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna say no. I'm not. But no, that's fine. So out of the games that you guys play, what are some of the most memorable moments, or some of the best moments that you guys have had ever when you guys were playing Tekken?
Playing each other.
Yeah. Do you guys? Is it playing each other, or is it playing outside of the community or something like that? What's the most glorified moment that you guys have had?
Glorified moment.
Yeah, just the most glorious moment. So you beat someone that you really, really want to win against.
I beat Book 6 times in a row in casuals.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? I guess my...
No, but that wasn't a glorious moment. That's just casuals.
Yeah,
it's just because...
Yeah.
Yeah, what about... tell me about that time, Rambo. Tell me about that time when you got beaten up in China.
Oh, you got beaten up?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Was that glorified?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was during what? That was during either BR or 6 point...
Nah, it should be BR.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I was just...
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then before that, he was all skinny. He was all like slim, skinny. His arm was like
had the Rambo.
He caught me off guard because I was just playing, and this guy was sort of like semi noob. he wasn't doing anything.
See, he's still playing cheap.
Well, I didn't play cheap. He
You
wasn't
always
doing
play
anything.
cheap. You always play cheap.
He wasn't doing anything. I couldn't even punch him because he was just guarding. So I had to use low. I had to throw him, and he couldn't break any throws. And then
that's your fault.
Well, it was like my fault. He wasn't. And then all of a sudden, he just threw a chair at me, and then
He
started.
threw a chair at you? No,
Yeah.
this is new. I thought that he just came around
He
to
came
say good
around-
games, but then you thought that he was there. But then I thought he punched you and he threw you to the ground.
No, what happened was he caught me completely off guard because he would often push back, but not like backdashing. He just pushing back, right?
Mhm.
So I got used to it. I thought that was his playing style, and all of a sudden he stopped. So I don't know what happened until he left or something. So I started grabbing it again, and
Wait.
all of a sudden, yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, he threw a chair at me, and I just caught me completely off guard. And then he came up to me and he started punching me and grabbing me and throwing me onto the ground, and then that's it. And then some other players and random people just broke the fight off, and that was it.
No, but didn't you also tell us then that the reason why he did that, or the reason why he got so angry at you, was because you started playing Mokujin?
Well, I don't remember that I was playing Mokujin, but I remember I played some different characters. Initially I played Feng, but then later on I started playing Brian, Kazuya, my usual characters. Then later on I started playing some random characters. But I don't remember exactly whether I was playing Mokujin.
That's why you should never play your random characters. It's so cheap.
Well, it was boring,
Actually,
and
no,
I
you're
wanted
just
someone.
You're just cheap.
Didn't you lose your cards that day as well?
I did. I lost everything. Well, because I just I had my wallet and everything was thrown off through the ground, and and I just picked up everything and left.
Did you ever see that guy again?
No, never, never. Yeah.
Maybe he went to some other country afterwards.
Nah, I'm sure not. So
he doesn't get caught by the Chinese police.
You did say that other players did mention that he was a bit psycho.
Well, he was just
something wasn't right in the brain.
Well, he had anger management issues, of course, and I think he was some kind of high school student or something. Yeah. So hot temper and caught me completely off guard. And because
so this is your most memorable match?
No, I just wanted to
memorable.
In a way.
Yeah, that would be a memory.
It wasn't a glorified moment because if I was Kenshiro, I would like and he explodes. That was my glorified moment. But instead, I was the one who got exploded. So it wasn't a very glorified moment.
You had like a bruise or something, or something like that.
It wasn't a big bruise on my face or anything because he didn't really punch me because he was hitting the back of my head. You know what I mean?
What a coward!
And, I know exactly. I didn't even I couldn't even react to it, and that was it. And I was just kind of shocked. And because back then it was also high school or maybe just the first year of university or whatever. So when I went back, they often talked about how in those arcades in China you have gangsters and stuff. I mean, I couldn't risk it and then punch him back. I mean, who knows? If somebody comes up, with a gun or something, you know what I mean?
With a gun or a knife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was like, not necessarily guns, but knives or a nightstick or something like that. So I was just like, oh fuck, fuck this.
Yeah, true. Now, okay, well, what would be like, the most memorable moment for yourself?
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, that's a memorable moment, but
yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be something that you'd really just say, "Hey, remember that time I got beaten up?" You wouldn't say that.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Yeah, so what would be like, your favorite moment? I mean, obviously, what about making to LPL? That would be really good.
Yes, it is. I mean, definitely because that was streamed, it was on air, and we had like 500 audience sitting there, and I heard you saying Rambo. I was waving at you. Yeah, that was caught on the TV as well.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. It was like the host was asking, did I hear Saint? Yeah, did I hear Kolnova?
No, that wasn't me. Oh,
was it?
It was.
I heard someone Rambo.
It was a guy named. No, it wasn't. I mean, I would have said Rambo, but there was a guy that kept on saying Kolnova.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Byron. If he ever listens to this, we know who you are.
Okay.
We know that you were being loud that night. Yeah. So basically, the host was going, "Okay, who do you guys support?" And he's like, "Kolnova."
Yeah.
And it's like, It's like, okay, show your hands for Saint. Nah, Cornova. It's like, what about Mr. Mysterious River? Nah, Cornova.
Yeah. But I definitely heard someone was saying, the Mr. Mysterious River, and he's like, Rambo, and then the host thought he was saying combo, so he was saying that Konami should do combo on me. and I heard someone said Rambo, and that's all with you because it sounded like you, so I was waving at you, and then people, so that was definitely a quite good moment. And third is a quite good place for me. Before the tournament, I thought I might get the 5th place, and I told myself to try hard to get the 3rd place, and just I made it to the 3rd. So that was quite good.
My memorable moment is when Zaza became my favorite low player. No, jokes.
What's that?
What?
So my memorable moment would be, I think, just this year overall. I think this year through not just LPL but through nationals. I think it was and through ISF. Just the whole year was quite memorable. I don't think there will be.
So you think that you had a good 2017?
Yeah, like the ones I ended up participating in, it was really good, really fun. I think the overall tournament experience in New Zealand with Standing Fierce and LPL and of course ISF was all memorable. I think this will be the most memorable year for me, to be honest.
And beating you 12-4, that was very memorable for me.
Do you remember what example I gave you?
What example? But that's a Korean thing. I didn't understand that until you explained it.
So what is this?
He keeps trying to brag me about a couple of
I
days.
was trying to troll him. I was trying to show Lux 18. This is how you troll. You present evidence.
Yeah, but he always tries to troll with things like show off with one day that he particularly did well against me. And then this is an unusual day, right?
Yeah. So it's not that unusual.
Yes, it is.
It's not very unusual recently.
Yes, it is. Anyway, so on a Korean TV show, there was this. Do you know what Go is?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not sure if you guys know, but Go is game 2-player game. You have white rocks and black rocks. It's like a Chinese chess.
Yeah.
And
is it the one where you have to try and surround them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I gotcha.
So what had happened was on TV it was showing two old guys, and they had played 200 games with each other. One guy had a win ratio of 199 wins and 1 loss.
Right.
And the other guy has 1 loss and 1 win and 199 loss, but the guy who only has 1 win calls the other guy, "Oh, you suck at this game." And the other guy gets real pissed off and says, "But play me again." He's like, "You suck, I'm not gonna play you anymore." That's exactly what he's doing. He just has this.
Come on, it's not that bad. It's usually 60-40. It's not that bad.
Yeah, but you always seems to take screenshots of these big scores. The other one of the screenshots he showed, it was later the win ratio for me was 70, and his one was close to 30. And then
it was 47 because of Chage.
Yeah, for yours win ratio was 47 anyway. Yeah. So and then he showed the mid game one where it was around 50.
Yeah.
And the later one was it got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, but you were beating Chage, so I
was beating you with your win ratio was 47. Why do you keep trying to defend yourself?
Because I lost to you some games, I lost to him some games.
So so I was saying that to him that was oh, you're just like that person.
So okay, so that's the good moment. So can you tell me all those years that both of you have been playing Tekken for?
Yeah.
What was the most memorable, saltiest moment that you guys have had?
A lot for me.
Saltiest moment.
The saltiest.
We'll start with you, Rambo.
Back then maybe losing to Seville was my saltiest moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He could never beat Seville initially.
Yeah, initially I could never beat him because of his random style, and like I said last time, I was very salty, but I couldn't say it, so I was salty in another way. Sort of a passive aggressive. Being passive aggressive.
So that was your salty moment.
It's very funny because when I brought over Seville, right? Yeah. And I told Seville when we're coming over to Chicago, I said the guys, Rambo especially, is probably he doesn't play online, but he's probably one of the best in New Zealand. I was saying the Rambo.
I lost my face because I lost to him. I wanted my dignity.
I said like Rambo is really strong, and then what happens? Sevio practically destroys Chikage and Rambo that night.
Yeah.
Other than me, like I didn't play that much. I was mainly watching, and he destroyed the Rambo and Chikage both of them. It was like, and then when he was coming back, like, oh, Rambo, is he really that good?
I was so fucking pissed and salty after that, and I was so determined to destroy him. About 2 months later, I started to destroy him, and then he had no chance since then. And it was really
for me, salty. I think the saltiest moment was
getting hit by randoms online.
No. My saltiest moment would be probably when back in.
It's okay. We got all night
against PG.
No. I think it's when I initially was playing and I just couldn't handle the losses properly. It's like,
but that's like when you.
That's kind of generic, man.
5.0, you mean?
But other than that, afterwards I wasn't that salty. Oh yeah, there was actually. I just remembered. It was back in nationals. It was when it was decided for BR where we had round robins, and for that Burger King tournament where BG won, right? For the one that held in Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a round robin for that to decide who's gonna go to like the New Zealand as a New Zealand rep.
Yeah. That was with Wave King and everyone. Eh?
Yeah. So at the round robin, I beat everyone in the first round. So I was point wise like first, and then on the second round I lost to BG very close, but I also lost to Jerry.
Oh, Coldfire, yes.
But my win ratio in general would be 9-1 against Jerry. Like I would barely lose to him. I lost him in the tournament with Lars, and I was like really like that. I was salty then, and when I was initially playing Lars, I just couldn't handle how Lars has so shitty lows that every time he gets blocked.
Lars is so good.
Yeah, I don't like he's good, but he's not like that good. And once you your low times get figured out, he becomes real shit. So like all my salty moments are actually regards to Lars, not. Like losing was last.
I remember a salty moment I had during BR. In the competition, I got nervous and lost to Bufu. Do you guys still remember Bufu?
Yeah.
Well, what's his name? The Japanese guy's name.
Yasu.
He used to get so salty to losing to Yasu.
Yeah, that's right. I get really salty. Even Jamie was really salty about Yasu.
Well, there is an explanation with Jamie being quite salty towards Yasu.
Yeah.
Because I mean, after all, Jamie was the one that called him a random number generator.
You lost to Bufu's shame, Rambo.
Who said that? Yeah, I did. I was, I usually like you just said. Usually, me against Bufu is like 9-1. And then in the competition, he was just using random parries all day, and I just lost to him.
Speaking of ratios, we used to have an Auckland ratio where everyone's win ratio was shit because like it would like highest would be like 60-70.
Yeah.
It would always like if it's at 80-90, it would drop eventually to like 70-60. And there was the Hamilton ratio where there was the 80%. This is Jerry's Coldfire's Hamilton ratio 80, and there was the Christchurch ratio. Glenn had the 90% ratio with us Yoshi from Christchurch. Yeah. So whoever has a 90% ratio, we used to always call it a Christchurch ratio at the time. Because it was so divided. Every time they come, oh wow, this guy's 90%, and then Jerry comes, it's like 80%, and then like Auckland, we have like shit ratios. And like
because there's just so much competition going around.
You always there's someone who's better than you.
Yeah, for sure. And now this brings us these are the last few questions.
Sure.
So in the community of Tekken, who do you guys think are the bad guys and the good guys?
How do you define bad guys?
Exactly?
So let's just say in the last there was the last question that I've asked so the last podcast that I've asked this question was Myvin's one. Myvin,
Yes.
So he said Seville
is a
bad guy just because the thing is that every time when he wins, he'll just shake his head like, Like, and that's just like that.
The
Like,
attitude, his attitude,
yeah. So he'll shake his head just going, nah, you can't beat me or whatever.
Yeah,
or something like that.
There's a funny actually story behind that. Do you know Kenny? He plays Xiao Yu.
Yes.
Apparently, like, they're all good now, but Kenny used to hate Savio.
Okay. But they're good friends. They practice a lot.
Now they are, but initially, Kenny used to really, really hate Savio because whenever he plays Savio at the arcades, when Savio beats him, he just shake his head like it's like.
Oh yeah.
And Kenny, disrespectful, and Kenny's way older than Savio, and then in Asian culture,
and so
like,
basically
that disrespect.
Really so I think that that's the reason why Dan Banter he calls Savio, he calls you BG, he always just calls you guys Hyung.
Well, yeah,
not by the name, right?
Did they call you Hyung? Like brother? Like yeah.
Hyung means older brother. Like,
older brother, right?
Yeah, so you say it to that's what they say to older, like if it's a male no, it's just how Korean works. So
so who's your bad guy?
Who I think is a bad guy.
So let's say that they have just that kind of attitude, that people love to boo.
Yeah.
Or the character that they're playing.
I know a person, but I'm not going to say who, but we all know who that is. There's a person who plays Kuma. And
Kuma?
He plays
Bear?
Kuma. Yeah, Bear.
Okay.
Yeah, Bear. And I think Wen in back in BR. And he would
I know what this is.
Smash the machine. He would troll you if you lose him. Oh, you didn't know how to punish this one?
Didn't he also play Jack?
I don't know whether he played Jack or not. Yeah, but he had a personality. He really had a very, very unpleasant personality.
He was at TWT. He came to TWT.
Really?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
Okay.
And
but
his attitude was really bad.
Yeah, he had a very bad attitude, and and I don't actually remember his name.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I do, but I'm not gonna. I'm sure people watching, listening to this may know. I know.
But I just know this person. Hey.
Okay, so basically, in the arcades there, he would just come in, he'll troll you, he'll smash the machine.
Yeah. He definitely did, and he smashed the machine. If he did beat you, he will troll you by saying something like, "Oh, didn't you know how to punish this?" That was even a scrub knows how to punish this.
That's funny because I've never heard anything from I never got any disrespect from him. More like he couldn't give one, but.
Well, if you didn't really lose to, if you didn't lose to him, probably you couldn't. Then again, apart from Lux 18, who else doesn't respect you?
You.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, come on, man. Ease off on that one. That's a very new subject, but I thought we buried that.
Yeah.
So what about you, Thomas? What do you reckon?
Bad.
Yeah, just the bad guy, like a villain.
Like a villain.
You.
No, how could I be the villain when, other than if I'm I think if you consider a villain. In that wise, it would probably, I would say, to a lot of people, it was Dan Banter.
Dan Banter?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. By the look of it, it sounded like, because if, lower ranks hate getting sucked off from higher ranks, and look how many ranks Dan Banter has.
Yeah, he does.
And look at our small player pool online that we get, and how many people would have been sucked off Dan Banter, right? Look, there's Dan Banter memes, and I don't even know why they have so many Dan Banter memes. I didn't understand because for me, I don't play rank much now, so it doesn't really interest me to get it to a high rank. But,
right.
But look at Dan Banter having so many high ranks, so you can see where it's coming from, kind of. He scoops all the ranks, kind of like what we used to do, what me and BG used to do a long time ago in BI. I guess we were a villain at the time in that wise. But then again, we scoop out each other's ranks eventually, anyway. So, but
what about now in today's society or in today's community?
I think.
To be honest, I would like to name one.
Yeah.
So I think that before I did mention Cure. Cure was one because that time at Southern Cross Up when he actually reset the bracket, he actually almost stood up and started. Telling the audience, see, I told you so. I told you I was going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's one, but another
that's
one.
Not a bad thing, though.
Yeah.
he popped off, but that was a bad time to pop off because I was already ready to, like.
Don't tell me you threw that set.
No, I didn't. If we go back over talking about nationals, the matches with him, I lost the when I was on the winner's side.
Right.
He came back from it because I made so many mistakes, decision errors, and the punishments I could have done so much better, and I messed up a lot of punishes. So that's the reason that I was playing Dragunov and switched to Shane later, and I was fine afterwards. But when I was playing Dragunov, I made a lot of punishment errors, which ended up giving him enough bar to kill me, and it was rage and stuff.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. Just the amount of damage that Akuma can do, just with 2 bars.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
It's, you can practically die from one combo.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but Kyo, I don't think it. I think it's good to have someone like Kyo who can pop off or have like kind of give a show on a level where it's not too bad and it doesn't. It's okay. It can be accepted. It's not on a level where you get offended from him. Like unlike Savio, where he's like shaking his head.
Shakes his head. Did you see him? Did you actually see his head hit the table when he lost in the tournament?
Either way, he wins or loses, and National he's like shaking his head. That's really weird because even when he, again in the winners finals against Jamie when he won, he was still shaking his head.
Yeah, it's like this. You're not good enough.
Yeah, but
you're not good enough.
I guess that the true villains of this would be people who actually, like trolls are okay to a certain level. I think because the other guy that.
Lux 18.
Yeah, at least he.
No, okay. The reason why I bring this up is that sometimes you would need to have like these kind of characters in our society.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if you want to be a good villain, and you want to start talking shit to a lot of people, back it up. That's the main thing, and I think that would be really good because the thing is that
not winners finals, sorry, semis, winners semis, so not winners. Finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back it up, like me presenting.
Yeah, but the thing
evidence.
is that you're Rambo. You're the people's champ
or
something or whatever.
Win a semi. So.
Don't worry, I say that I call everyone the people's champ. I call Jamie the people's champ.
Jamie is the people's champ.
He is. He kind of is.
Yes.
Yeah, but for another one that I'd like to mention that's actually a good villain.
Yeah.
Is Ajith.
Ajith? Why?
I think he's too nice to be a...
No, okay. In game, he is not nice. Like, so what he'll do is, he likes to talk it up, but it makes good entertainment.
Yeah.
So, I remember in LPL, when it was the top 16, I think the host, Duan, he was asking, he's like, is there anything you want to say to anyone?
Yeah.
And he's like, all you people in Wellington are free.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember that. That's actually right.
Yeah. So I think Ajith Blackout, he's definitely one of those guys that would just actually pop off.
Like I think just people like a villain. I don't think there's a particular person nowadays, to be honest, because I think everyone's friends nowadays and like quite friendly. But just people who are just trying to destroy the community is probably bad. I think.
Well, it's toxic. It's toxic. But the thing is, you're always going to get these kind of people.
But like like a troll to a certain level is okay, because if people find enjoyment in that, like I don't think that the recent case, like I jumped on it, was not really just to kick him off, but one of the reasons was I think it was getting too far, so I wanted to make him stop. So it's like just to show him and then just kick him off and stop trolling. But one of the reasons was that, of course, I was bored at work and started reading it. But the other thing was, it wasn't so bad. It was just quite funny to watch, to be honest.
Yeah.
He was making a clown of himself, like how you mentioned earlier. I'm not insulting him. It's just that's what he did, and he was enjoying it. So like,
we all did. I found it quite entertaining.
Yeah. So as long as it's like something that's like not disturbing, I think it's okay, and it doesn't go too far.
Yeah.
But people who go over that level, I'm sure that people would have noticed one or two so far. I think they're the true villains that can ruin like a good experience of what we have in the community as a Tekken community or fighting games community.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think one of, like how who he mentioned, I'm not gonna give out the name, but because I don't want to mention any names to be honest, is that kind of attitude can be on, because I've actually saw during TWT, I was watching behind, and the attitude, I think he was playing Savio or someone I know anyway, and his attitude was really, really bad. It was almost to the racist level. If people didn't know him, like how he was acting.
When
so
he was playing against Savio.
I think it was Savio.
Well, but
was
Savio-
it? Was it Peter or Savio? It was someone. It was at the back anyway. One of the back.
Savio would have destroyed him though.
No,
Savio was
yeah,
like
I know,
shaking his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, yeah, enough of the negative stuff.
Yeah, but
and,
anyway, so
and everything.
but yeah, so you were talking about a villain and what other one you were wanted to ask? Not just the villain. You were.
Well, the good guys, like the people's champ. So you were saying Jamie.
I think Jamie or Jamie Connor.
Connor is always kind of be like a favorite.
No, no,
because he goes to all these tournaments. He does a lot for the community.
Not just that, but if in that wise, I think then Dave would be one, definitely. Well, Standing Fierce crew definitely, but like I'm saying Connor for especially Tekken and Jamie because they've been running the weekly online tournaments.
I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about in terms of good guys is that obviously there's always people that's going to be behind them, cheering and things like that. No matter who they're up against or anything like that.
In that way, I would say it's in general it's Jamie. I think people would cheer for Jamie a lot.
Well, wouldn't that be BG as well?
No, VG I don't think would be a fan favorite. If it's a fan favorite thing, I would definitely say it's.
But you are.
I am not one.
Well, you've got Cupty as a fan.
I
got a lot of fans.
He's always like, Abuchi.
Yeah, but I definitely if I was playing Zazov Jamie in a match, people would cheer more for. Yeah, Jamie.
Well, that's because they want you to lose. For example, I for one.
Come on, I think I hope you would win, but why would you tell me that you want me to lose?
well, that's the liability you get being the top, the top
you
player.
Are the top.
I'm not the top player. I'm third. Remember, third.
Yeah, but he's fourth.
Yeah, I'm fourth.
So you're my number,
Nah. Yeah.
Were you nervous that night when you were playing at LPL?
The first game against Blackout was. Apart from that one, I was completely calm.
Because they were off stage.
Yeah, then when I came back up, I wasn't.
All the losers matches were going downstairs, where only the losers guys who dropped the losers were playing there.
Mm-hmm. That was actually the entire cause for the LPL, and also the one Saturday, the previous day. I was never nervous. Even when I was against Saint, I wasn't nervous. Against Saint, I wasn't nervous.
Right.
It was the only one match I got nervous, which was the one against Blackout.
Yeah.
I
think it's being on TV and such.
First of all, it's because of being on TV. It was my first time. No such experience existed ever. And secondly, also because I was playing Eliza. So that was also, a completely new character to me before Blackout played it against me. So practically, that was the second day against Eliza. So I had no idea about her really. That's why I was nervous. But after that, I sort of quickly adjusted. I said to myself, "Oh, okay, look, I have to be calm. If I was shaky, if my hands were still shaking, I wouldn't be able to beat any other players because everyone else was." The top players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jamie. We all love you. No homo.
No homo.
All right. So I think that this episode is a good episode.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good discussions and everything like that. But obviously, good things always come to an end.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, you two, for coming around. It's always good just to have a yarn and have a chat with you guys and getting this all recorded on the podcast and everything. Yeah. Before we ride off into the sunset, as I'd like to always say, is there any special mentions that you want to, say out there, that you want to put out there, for people and things like that?
I want to make a shout out especially to, first of all, to Salt Factory guys, Jamie, Chris, Jambo, Adam, ZG, special guest, because they've always supported me through, especially Adam, I think, has supported me through the whole thing. He is the one who pushed me to enter LPO and such, so thanks you guys. Thanks to you guys, I really had a real enjoyable year this year in regards to playing games. I would also like to say thanks to people at LPL. I know they're receiving a lot of hate from here and there, but for me, I think at least sooner or later they will eventually be cooperative with the community. So that's what they want to do. That's what how they want to progress anyway. They know that they cannot survive without the community. Any community, they know that just with an organization that nothing's going to happen. So I hope that turns out well. I don't know how long it will take, but for me, I'm really grateful. Especially John has done a lot of things for me. Sheep, working around hard, helping me to change the timetable for my flight. I know it's a nuisance, but like I really do appreciate it. I did tell you guys, and of course, Sending Fierce and all of you community guys. It was, I think, without the community, I don't think there is no Konover, there's no Tekken like representative, no E-Black. To be honest.
Yeah, of course. And what about yourself?
Yeah,
Chris?
well, I just feel very lucky being one of the Tekken members in the community, and I just want to thank everyone who likes me.
Yeah, don't worry, I like you.
Yeah.
So what, like a whole 5 people in New Zealand?
Yeah, a whole 5 people, everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, just very lucky to be a part of the community, and thank you all. I love you guys all. Yeah.
No homo.
No homo. I got a wife.
Unless you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, no. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I mean, it was really good. I also forgot to mention that for those that aren't doing anything on the 9th of December, there we've got Jambo, Jamie, and Tinkoz, or Jambo, Zazob, and Tinkoz. That's going to be they're going to be doing Sky, whatever. Yeah, but we will be so they will be basically hosting a tournament off-season Salt, which would be held at Mega Web Internet Cafe there. That's on the 9th of December. Register is $5 and $5 per game. If you guys aren't doing anything and you guys like playing Street Fighter, Tekken, Injustice 2. Oh no, just Tekken and Street Fighter there. Be sure to come in and have a good time. There is a pool that's going to be that will be given out to the winner. So I'm pretty sure that would buy a lot of KFC for everyone. So yeah, definitely come in. Definitely have a good time. This is Chrono. Thank you.
You're not gonna introduce Cardo, not my phone?
I will. No, but that can come at a later stage because it's so it's definitely so advanced into next year. So no, thank you everyone for listening in. This is Chrono, and you were listening to the Salt Shakers. Peace out, everyone.
See ya.
Bye. This is a new guy, and he's not that good in terms of basic. What can I say? He's spamming these unseeable moves, and he was beating us, right?
Yeah.
So I was quite pissed, but at the same time, I couldn't say I'm pissed because that would look very bad.
Oh my God. Can you tell me, in your honest opinion, in our community, who do you think are the heels? Or I should say, bad guys.
We're gonna make some enemies with this
one.
No,
you won't. No. It's all for fun.
Okay,
all for fun.
I think maybe Sivio?
Past interview, I'm standing there like, so, when was a time when you had to use your creativity to get yourself out of a mess with a customer? And in my head, I'm just like, oh man, I really need shit.
G'day guys, Yeeks here. You're listening to Salt Shakers. Stay salty and stay Yeeks.
Hey guys, it's Dave from Standing Fierce.
Hey yo, this is Ghost Chips.
Hey, this is Sky.
Hey, this is Iron Soul.
Kia, this is Wazza.
This is Simp, and you're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
You're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
Yo, it's your boy Pete Kuruma.
Yo, it's Booze Bender.
Yo, what up? This is Reckless Steel.
Yo, this is Hyena. And you're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
And you're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
Yo, this is Parasite NZ.
Hey, this is Penny Power.
This is Royston, and you're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
And you're listening to the Salt Shaker Podcast.
Hey everyone, my name is Gabe, aka Jabu the Hutt, and you are listening to Salt Shakers Podcast.